Sit and Chat 612. Tune in.
Hey, welcome to the Sit and Chat 612, where we come up with weekly topics. Disclaimer, these are our life experiences and our opinions. Plus, we've been around the block for a few times. I am Sherrick.
Tony.
DeAndre.
And today we're doing our first interview. She has stepped onto the cooking scene in a big way in 2020. She has been featured on our local news in the Shade Room. You know they're real shady. You make it to the Shade Room, you done did something right or wrong. She's been on the Wendy Williams show, which is a real big thing. She has she's located in the Twin Cities, and she has done many more things. Y'all know her as the Gumbo Lady, but I know her as Shalonda Massey.
Hello, thanks for having me, y'all.
Hello. So today we're gonna start off as asking you, going onto the cooking scene as an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. What was it like?
It was scary. It was definitely scary, challenging, and it was a eye-opening experience. Still is, but yeah, it definitely lets you know who's gonna really rock it out with you and who really believes in you. So that was the biggest lesson I learned.
So you still learning that lesson, or you figured out some other kinks?
No, I think I learned that lesson.
I don't make the same mistake twice.
Yeah, because I'm definitely the type to wear my heart on my sleeve. So that was the biggest experience, eye opener for me to understand that the closest people to you might not believe in what you got going on, but you still got to keep going. So.
Yeah, that is true. That is so true.
When did you first get into the scene?
I started my business 2020, May of 2020.
Did you just decide you wanted to do it, or was that something you always had in your mind?
So it's really funny because you know how Facebook memories pop up? So on Facebook, it was like, I think it was 2016, a memory popped up, and it was like an old menu I had. It was like mashed potatoes and meatloaf and corn on the cob.
Funny thing is, I remember that.
Yeah, girl, this just, now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, girl, I'm so glad you stopped yourself. So, I don't know, just, I guess it was my time, my brother passing. That kind of opened that door to, you gotta shake this depression kind of thing, and what's gonna bring you out of that, and that's something that he always loved was my cooking.
Right.
Okay.
So that's really what started it.
Was cooking for you is something that you always wanted to do, or did it just kind of come around?
To be honest, it was something I always wanted to do, but I really didn't believe in myself. If that makes sense, or I didn't have that push to kind of get out there. And then in 2020 with COVID and everything going on, you kind of saw other entrepreneurs getting out there, and that kind of, let me know like it's possible. Get out there, take that chance, because if you don't take that chance, then you never know. So
was it some that kind of, some for you that kind of push you to do it? I mean, what were you doing before you started to open your own business?
I was in healthcare, so just
That's a big change.
Yeah, just working for somebody, and then I was literally working. I'm talking about probably 50 hours a week.
Wow.
So just challenging myself, and then dedicating all that time, and then getting them checks. So you be seeing them taxes coming out, and it's like, hold on, and then you say you dedicate all this time to a boss or employer, and you late one day 5 minutes, and then like, hey, you got rolled up. But what about these 60 days I was on time?
Right.
So,
Right.
So that was a big factor in me, and again, seeing people of color step out there and make it happen. That was so inspiring, encouraging, and so.
It was a lot going on in 2020. It was pop-up shops after pop-up shops after pop-up shops. So like that's how a lot of people, I feel, I don't know if you feel the same way, I feel like that's how a lot of them got their names out there. And I never knew. Okay, so I think I was listening to the radio. So I didn't know that you could actually cook out of get a permit to cook out of your house.
Yeah.
And then when I saw that, I think you can only make up to so much, right?
Yeah.
Excuse me. So once you hit that threshold or don't hit that threshold, then like what goes beyond that? Because you be selling out.
Yeah.
So then I know you got to be up there at the top somewhere. So we talking about storefront, we talking about food truck. Like what are we doing here?
That's the thing. I think I'm just stagnant right now, which is not a good thing. I think I'm just more so focused on the cooking side, and I need to understand that it takes paperwork and all that other stuff in the background to kind of get the ball going. So I think that needs to be my next focus. You got the cooking down, so now what are you gonna do to kind of get it going and get it?
So do you have a team with you, or is just you?
It's just me.
You need a team. You need a team. You need to be trusted. Okay, this is because me talking to her personally. I've been knowing her since she's been like 16. Right. Okay, so you have to trust someone. You sound kind of like Tony here. Okay, it was like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I can't. I can't. But I don't trust other people. I don't need other people in my business. I don't like people having my information. So it got to be someone that you trust, that you know that's going to get you there or help you get to where you need to be. You got to let your guard down a little bit.
Yeah, you say that, but then back to where we said in the beginning, I let it down and I was so trusting.
Yeah,
and then
but you learned that.
I was.
You learned that.
Yeah, I learned.
So you done been in the game. This going on 3 years now.
Yeah.
So somewhere in there, it got to be somebody that you like, hey, this is what I want to do. I don't know how to get to this point. How do you feel like you can help me get to this point? Because I'm trying to elevate where I'm at.
That's true. That's true. But it also takes that dedication from that person.
That's true.
You have somebody that's working.
That's why you have them sign contracts.
Yeah. That's definitely true as well. There you go.
You can't just be issuing out money and nobody's producing anything.
Right.
Times is hard.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about the permit process? Because I never knew that you had to have a permit in order to...
But that's the thing, is the cooking in the house that I didn't know that you needed a permit for. Like everything else you need permits to do. I didn't know that you were able to cook in the house.
Right.
But certain things in the house, like sauces, juices.
Okay.
You can make certain meals, but it has to be kept at a temperature. That's why I get so upset when people don't come and get their food on time.
Yeah.
Because
I'm guilty.
technically, if something goes wrong, then it comes back on me.
So do the health department come and inspect?
They can do they can do pop-ups and do inspections. So
okay, so that's like legit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then if you look it up in the state of Minnesota, their name should always pop up, so you can always go and see who's actually certified to do it out of their home.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So the Gumbo Lady LLC will be on all of those lists.
Nice. So since we know that that's where you at right there with the Gumbo Lady, and you're looking to do something else with it, there's nobody that you had like you want to put on your team or been thinking about putting on your team?
Oh, for sure. I've mentioned it to a couple of people that I trust. I picked out a marketing person, a management person, but again, they also have schedules, and so it's also about finding time for them to actually be available for me.
But I'm about to tell you right now. Remember, it's about you. You trying to elevate you. So you need to find a team that's they'll probably be dedicated, but their number one priority is probably whatever they got going on now. Right. You need a team who's about the Gumbo Lady, because that's what you about. That's your baby that you're building, trying to build up. So I need you to come on.
But that goes back into trusting people. So
but you know who you don't have to trust? You don't have to trust the people who already got this stuff together and who can get you where you need to go. They already have contracts lined up and signed up. Them people you don't have to trust. These people that you can sue for not doing what they're supposed to do.
That's true.
You need a secretary, an honorary secretary like me. Okay. I'm just playing. I'm just talking to because I'm his honorary secretary, okay? I don't know anything about the cooking scene, but I can help you in the farmer scene.
What do you feel like, a question that I want to ask you, but also ask him, like, the word entrepreneur, what do you feel like that means to you? Because, I'm sure there's a definition, but I feel like everybody has their own definition. So what does the word entrepreneur mean to you?
So for me, I don't know how, like you said, everybody has a different definition. For me, it's like getting it out the mud. Like, go for what you want. Don't stop. Like, no matter what, stay going. Keep your foot on the gas and stay outside the box. Don't be like the next cook. And that's always been my focus. Like, you look on my menu, you're not going to find what I cook on the next cook's menu. And that's been my main focus. So just entrepreneur for me is just like going hard for what you want. Keep going and standing outside the box.
Yeah, I agree with her. Same thing. Yep, entrepreneur is a person pretty much is own their own business, pretty much. Business or businesses, you know what I mean? And that take the financial risk, you know, to do so. You know what I'm saying? So that's what entrepreneur is for me. You know, doing your own thing. You know, not having a boss, being your own boss.
Right.
So, yeah.
You have a boss though.
You ain't my boss. we bosses. Put the S on that thing. Yeah. But back to the permit thing. It's funny you say that because I think it was about a week ago. I got the guy that owns the building had a violation on my sign, and it was the taco truck sign out back. I guess you can't have a sign over a certain amount of feet. So it was new to me, being here for 2 years. I was just like, I didn't know you had to have a permit to have a sign. But apparently I don't, because my sign is 30 by 30, so I'm good. You know what I mean? But that's something that I learned, you know, within just having a business for 2 years. I know now, but when I first found out about it, I was just like, that's weird. You know what I mean? So, yeah,
and
so
that's
I know
one
that.
thing I learned. Sorry to cut you
Yeah,
off.
no,
You
go ahead.
always learning in
Yeah.
this game.
Yeah.
Like you always growing. And I always tell people when they get my food, do not be scared to tell me if it's nasty or if
You
it's
do
good.
say that. You do
Like,
say
do
that.
not
Yep.
be scared because I can't grow if I'm out here selling nasty food and everybody like, oh, it's good, girl, but I don't never see them
That
again.
is true.
Right.
I was just
So-
telling her before we got started because I don't like gumbo, and I told her I didn't like it. I think I bought it like 3 times trying to like it, but I support. Like, I don't care who it is. Mainly got to be people that I know. But if I don't like, I might trust you a little bit and buy your stuff. But I was having a conversation with somebody, and they was like, "Oh, Lightning gonna strike you down because her gumbo is the best." I buy from her. I don't like her gumbo.
Right.
But what I realize is I really don't like gumbo.
Right.
So like, no, yeah. So you're right.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you got to be open to that. You know, you
Yeah.
got some cooks that'll be like, well, my food is like, dang, was I supposed to tell you it was good?
Right.
Like,
Right.
are we okay now? Like, so I want to be that cook where they be like, hey, that was nasty.
Right.
Right.
You know, and I'll be
Right.
like, let me go back to the drawing board with this one and try to, and then run it back to you. So,
Yeah.
Right.
We always talk about that where
Yeah, we do.
it's like you need people who are going to give you that constructive criticism.
Right.
But also you have to be mentally mature enough to accept it
Yes.
and not get defensive like, what you mean my stuff nasty? I'm like, they're honestly telling you how they feel.
Yeah.
And that's how you continue to grow
Yeah.
in your business, but as a person too.
Yeah.
Like you can't just have yes men around you all the time.
Right.
Like, oh yeah, that's good.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. I like for people to keep it 100 with me.
Cause woo, them haircuts you was doing in the beginning,
That was 2 hours.
they was 2 hours. That was legit
But
2 hours.
you gonna be photoshopped after you left though. You know what I'm saying? But man, I had people that told me my hair, but I tell them off top, look, dude, don't be. I'm in the business to keep you coming back, not to keep you running to another bar saying about something that I did. You know what I mean? So I tell all my clients, if you see something, if you go home, you see something, let me know. You know what I mean? Don't be scared to let me know. I'm not like other barbers that get all the defensive, you know, about their craft. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna say I'm the best barbers in the world. I let my clients do that. So you know, if I messed up something, you know, I had a few clients that came back and be like, hey, yo, Tom, fix this real quick, or I wasn't really feeling the cut or something like that. And I'm the type of person like, what can I do? You know, how can I fix this? You know what I mean? So I'm a problem solver. So I don't get mad if people say my cuts ain't the best or whatever. You know, like one of the guys I used to work for, it was a lot of his clients, older clients that are used to him cutting. You know what I mean? And I always tell them, well, I cut different. So I'm a people pleaser. So I'm the type of person where I could probably get you closer to what he used to do, and we'll just keep working at it until we get it better. And I got 2 of his clients that are like very particular. In the beginning, I was just like, man, I don't want to cut these cuts. They doing too much. You know, they pay attention to every little detail, but just talking to them and cutting them after a while, I start to pick up the way they cut. And they old school. So
That's true.
They don't
And
like none of that
they
new
spending
stuff.
their money.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they don't like that drop fade and all that. Hey man, give me a straight ball fade with line straight across, faded out, I'm good. No extra stuff, no fiber, no. You know, they don't want all that. I don't want no hot towel. You know what I mean? I mean that's just how people is. So you know, yeah.
What do you feel like are the pros and cons of the business that you are in right now?
some days you can make $0. Some days you can make over 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
You have your good and bad days. Definitely a pro for me is, you know, what your day gonna be looking like. You know,
true.
like you set everything is set on how you want it to be set.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you running your own schedule. Is the con is definitely like it's difficult. Like on your bad days where you don't have that financial stability and you don't know like where that next is coming from because you're not getting that paycheck every weekly or bi-weekly. So that's definitely a pro and a con.
What about the people tasting your food or the joy that you get of people tasting your food? Like, I know they got to be like some type of high up there.
Yeah, it's definitely a high. I think that's what keeps me going too. Like that's what definitely pushes me. Me doing like different dishes and getting that you did that. That's definitely something that keeps me going. So I mean, and then you got my customers that be like, it was good, but then you never get a tag or you never get a return.
You know, I'm real guilty about not tagging and not sharing, so I will from there on.
But see, what you is you won't tag or share, but you'll come back.
I do.
And you a returning customer. We got customers out there like it was good, and you don't get a tag. You then you go to their page and they ain't your friend no more. Like, girl, if it was nasty, if it was nasty, that's all you have to say.
They are tagging you about food.
Yes.
That's wild. That's wild. I think that's another thing. Just from learning about the stuff that like we're doing, like it's not entrepreneurship, quote unquote, but it's the disappointment of the people not liking and sharing that's close to you. Because I said to my husband on the other day, I don't know why I said my husband, but hey husband, what I said to my husband the other day was, you know, nobody has shared our stuff but us. And I was like, wow. I know Facebook say that they be saying they don't get like people notifications and stuff, but wow, none of them. And I know they watch because they comment either on the Facebook or on our YouTube. You can't share it. But I saw somebody said the other day, don't take it personal. I'm taking it personal.
Yeah,
with a few of y'all. No, I'm talking about them people that not in my circle. I'm talking about them siblings and stuff. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
Yeah, them the ones. I'm not talking about the other folks. I don't know them. I mean, I know them, but I don't.
I get that part. Yeah. But I also feel like them gonna be the ones that always let you down. So it's like
no, because you always have an opinion.
Don't have that.
They have opinions.
Yeah.
If you gonna opinion, then you gonna share.
Right, exactly. Don't say nothing on my thing if you ain't gonna share this stuff. You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
You let me know how you really felt. Share it.
Yeah. Or not even that. If you're gonna let somebody know how you feel about something, like tell them what they can do better. You know what I mean? Don't always bash somebody. Okay, man, you could do this better. You could do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Because we learning. We don't know what we doing. We just talking.
Yeah, you feel me? Like,
and I have learned that when you are getting into whatever you want to do and you got your foot on the gas, that's when the most hate comes.
Yeah.
So whether you're doing good, bad, indifferent, if you got your foot on the gas, people gonna pick at any little thing. So that's
crazy
that I've learned.
That's crazy, and then I feel like some people don't even know these people. Like, who are you to have form an opinion of me and you don't even know me? That's not me personally. I've seen people say that. Like, you don't know me, and then here you are talking about me as if you know me. Like, wow.
That's social media, though, man. Yeah.
And in the Minnesota game, it's very
competitive.
Very competitive. And I am one of the cooks that kind of step to the side for a lot of pop-ups now and a lot of different events. You will
I was wondering why there was no more, but I guess because you was like, I'm done.
Yeah, it's a lot of events that going forward you will not see me at that you have seen me at.
Wow.
Just because I'm choosing my table to sit at now and I don't want to be a part of the mean girl clique or the ones that say they got the best food. Or you will never hear me say I have the best food. Yeah. You will never hear me say that. I will leave that up to my customers or whatever, because how can I say I got the best food?
Well, you're supposed to say that because it's you.
No, I just don't do it. So I don't know. It's just the entrepreneur world is very.
You know what? And I noticed that because I was in. Is it the Minnesota Business Group or something? That I saw a whole bunch of. One was scamming. So people, please stop taking people hard-earned money when you can't do whatever it is that you saying that you qualified to do.
Right.
And then it was clicked up, linked up, clicked up, linked up, clicked up, linked up. But if you wasn't in that click or that link, like I don't know any of these Minnesota people. I've been in Minnesota, but I'm not from Minnesota. So I ain't go to school with any of these folks. So they all linked up, clicked up, and I'm like, oh, so that's how they do it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because how else are you progressing but you're with your little clique, and then you're telling them, and then they're telling other people, and then you might, I'm gonna say you might feel like you have the best something, or you can offer something, and then you're not getting your foot in because somebody done said something bad about you, because it's always word of mouth.
One thing that I really don't like is like people have their own cliques or whatever, but then it's like they'll say that they're doing things for the community. I'm like, well, you I feel like a community, you involve other people who are doing the same thing,
Right.
Yeah.
whether that's through your business or dancing, where it's like, oh, I'm doing this for the community. Well, you're not involving the people who were doing it either before you or around the same time you were doing it, so you can't really say you're doing it for the community.
Right.
I feel like because people be trying to get it was me. I did it.
Yeah.
It was me.
Yeah. And I also feel like it's so many undiscovered chefs and cooks out here, are just people that love to do what they do because they don't have that clique of people that are known. So that's what's the most frustrating to me in the game, because I know a lot of different cooks that are like, man, if I was at a platform where I could put them out in the forefront, that would be my job.
Yeah.
You know what? But you have a platform. Your platform is big. Like, you have been on the local news. You know what I mean? And like, people personally didn't see your face on the Shade Room, but we knew it was yours when we saw it. You know what I mean? Like, I knew, because I knew like how you had like your trays lined up. People might not know what I'm talking about. So you explain what it is, because I was about to butcher it. Tell them what the meal was.
It was the soul pan. So it had the cornbread with the candy yam cup, and then we had the roast and macaroni and cheese and greens.
Yes. So like I think now you might do like the foil paper, but at first she had like the white liners like line in between them. Like, it was her. Like, we all knew it was her.
Right.
And then somewhere after it got big on the share, I don't know how many shares and comments it had. It was a lot. And then like next it was on the Wendy Williams show. So next time, tag your stuff in stuff.
That was the biggest lesson. That was my first, because I didn't know. I was like, let me just start creating dishes, and that's what I did. And I just put it out there. I didn't know about watermarks at the time.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm just putting a dish. I didn't think that it would go viral. So
and it did.
That was
that's
the
word
lesson.
I was looking for. Viral. That's what it did.
So that was another lesson. Start believing in myself more, which that has been a big lesson to me too. Because it's like I'm very humble. But I also know that I don't have to be at times. Like, I can own it. Like,
you know your worth.
Yeah. So that's what I'm working on. Being able to be like, yeah, that's I did that. So.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask you when you brought it up. It's like, because you mentioned that you're humble, but then you also mentioned like that as an entrepreneur you have to get out the mud. So it's like, do you have to have that balance of being like almost arrogant but still humble at the same time?
She's a Gemini. She's arrogant.
No, I am not arrogant. I'm not. And see, that's the thing. You got Shalonda and you got the gumbo lady.
Right.
So there's Shalonda. We talking about the gumbo lady.
Funny that she said that, because she said, "Do you want the gumbo lady or do you want Shalonda?" And I said, "They're one and the same to me. I don't know."
No. And everybody be like, "You're so kind and sweet," and then don't let a family member be around. They be like, "Who?" Like, don't do that. I'm the gumbo lady today. Don't do that. Don't embarrass me. So.
Hey, all three of us are Geminis. I know the personality.
I don't say I'm arrogant.
I'm not arrogant.
When I said I'm arrogant,
I didn't say, people don't normally say it. It's kind of the way they act.
I don't never come across arrogant.
Yeah, I'm not arrogant at all.
I'm either like, I don't know what you say. I'm an introvert, in between introvert or just out.
Yeah. I was just playing about the arrogant part.
No, I'm asking you a question though.
Oh, you want me to describe what you are?
Yeah.
In the beginning, you probably was an introvert, but you have an outgoing personality.
Right.
So, like, once people get to know you, you don't shut up. But
I don't shut up. I can't talk. I ain't gonna lie, but
don't let it be a good topic.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo. He's going on and on and on. Yeah. And then he'll be like, I already said that. And what he'll keep going.
My mind be going a mile a minute, and I be trying to say everything before I forget. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But, back to what you asked me. I'm not arrogant. I feel like my balance just came from, it really came from humbleness. Like, I getting it out the mud, I knew I was coming from nothing. Like, I knew I was starting from scratch. So I was very humble at who I associated myself with. When I came and asked for advice from other chefs and cooks, I was very humble. And that, I'm still, even now, I still message cooks and say, hey, got any advice for me? You see me, doing anything
Yeah, because you
wrong?
was,
So,
what was that? Was it a gumbo pizza you was making and you was trying to figure out the dough or
Yeah.
something like that? Yeah.
and I still didn't get any help in that. But
Really?
yeah, I figured it out. So, but yeah, so I'm very humble. I feel like all across the, now if I have to, I do have my times where I'll be like, you know what, screw this. I'm finna do it my way. Because that's how you got to, but.
So
overall,
I had a, sorry for cutting you off. I had a question for me. It happened to me a few times, but have you ever run across people that has the information or have the knowledge that just don't want to give you, just a little bit of the, the information?
I feel like that's why I'm not going to blame it on them, but you have to grow in anything you want. You need somebody. You need somebody with the knowledge on how to get you there or how to get started. And I feel like the Minnesota game is very,
Say it.
I don't know the word I'm looking for. They're very,
you say it's
nobody it's a crab in the barrel mentality.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to see the next person doing better. You can do good, but once you start excelling, because when I first started off as a gumbo lady, I had so many people, other cooks, like, girl, yes, do this, do that. We got pop-ups for you. And get out there. But then when I started getting out there, I'm like, hey, she ain't my friend no more. Or, I really, a lot of cooks kind of fell back because they started looking at me as competition. So
I feel like how you said about Minnesota, although I'm not an entrepreneur or anything, but since my husband is, I can relate because why don't you want to give out information? I feel like any information I gain and I can pass it on, that's what I do. Because that's what you're supposed to do. Like, how do you grow as a person? By withholding anything from anybody. It's not going to hurt anybody to give any information. Or what really bugs me, oh, you can pay for it.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
You asking me for a service, I didn't ask you to pay for it, but when I'm asking you, you want me to pay. I just find that real weird. Like, you don't even have a permit to eat or license to be telling me this information.
Right.
You just messed up and you learned. So why can't you tell me so I don't mess up? And then I can carry that knowledge to someone else so they don't mess up. It's just weird to me how people think. But then we always say like this Minnesota, but I feel like that's like everywhere, because I'm not from Minnesota, and they'll be like only in Hampton or only in Arkansas. No, that's here too. Even though that's smaller, this is bigger. Most people run in the same crowd here. You either from St. Paul or you from Minneapolis, and most Minneapolis people done seen the same person a million times. You don't know them. I make up names for the people that I don't know. Be like, oh, hey, that's little so and so over there. I don't know this person from nobody, but I know who it is. You know what I mean? So like, I'm looking in the camera now. Share some of your knowledge. It's okay. Nobody's gonna outdo you because you're in your own lane doing whatever it is for you.
Right.
Share it.
It's enough money around for everybody. I say that.
Like Ray Pressure, she's an entrepreneur. She does CMOS, I believe. She was the one that stepped out and was like, let me get you out there. She set me up with KMOJ interviews. I was at every one of her pop-ups. So she really, and I tell her all the time.
I think that was your first pop-up that I went to.
I tell her all the time, thank you. And to this day, she's still like, we got events. Like, so she's definitely one where.
You want to know, it's funny you say that because I don't know her, but I did see people bashing her. Like, why? Do your own pop-up shop. Put your own name out there. Put your stuff on the line. She did that, and I'm sure she failed a few times before she got it right.
I feel like no matter what you do, somebody gonna bash you. It is what it is. So I just feel like that's just how people are. You know what I mean? So,
what advice or anything can you give somebody who's trying to start a business just in general?
Going to the game, not having expectations of anyone. Stay focused and be ready for some hard battles. Be ready to have some long days and sleepless nights, but no matter what, keep putting that grind in. Don't stop. Even if you feel like you not getting it quick enough, or you see somebody else winning and you like, what is going on? Just stay focused and always pray, man. That's the biggest thing for me. You gotta pray because God really be moving. So.
What about you, Tom?
I agree with her. You know, pray. And the people, put yourself around people that are doing things. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what I did. You know, it was a barber that kind of coached me and brought me up. You know? Yeah. So yeah, I mean, follow yourself around people that are doing stuff. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's what I say.
And I want to say something else too. And I most definitely ain't an entrepreneur or anything. Plan. Because if you don't, then somewhere in there is going to fail. If you don't have a plan, you have to plan. You can't just go out and say, "Oh, I'm going to do this." Everything takes time.
Yeah, dude.
And first, I guess, did you come up with the gumbo lady first before you started talking about you was cooking? Like, I know you was already cooking, but
yeah, for sure. I came up with the logo, the slogan, the name, the reason why all of this happened. You know what transpired to make you want to get out there. So
Okay, so yeah.
Now, being the gumbo lady, I'm sure your specialty is gumbo, right? Do you feel like, what do you feel like are other specialties of yours besides the gumbo?
Can I answer one?
Well,
the fish and red beans and rice. I don't even eat red beans, okay?
That's
I eat Great Northern and pinto beans. I've never and I always say I have to eat my beans with cornbread, so that's why I get extra cornbread. I might not even eat the rice. I might just mix it up with the cornbread. That's one of them. That might not be her favorite cook, but that's one of mine.
Yeah.
Well, as a consumer, what is it about red beans that you don't like?
I don't know. I just don't like them. But I eat hers. That's the thing. Like, I eat them. Like, I don't know. My grandma never cooked them, I guess. Maybe. I don't. Oh, and then she put the sausages. She put the sausages and stuff in there. Look, growing up, we either had bacon in there or okra or whatever it was that she put in them beans. And, you know, hey, I ain't going to bash her, but hey. But Shalonda put all this extra stuff in her beans, and they're the right texture, like they're creamy and stuff, the way I like my beans with the juice. So maybe that's why. And then that fish, I ain't even got to say cooking hard. Did I say cooking hard the first time? Maybe.
No, the very first time. Yeah. Now I just
after that, I don't have to say anything. And then I text her like, well, why didn't I get an extra fish? Because dang, now I got to share with Tony and Anthony.
No, I get my own. You ain't got to share with me. You be sharing with
Anthony. The stuffed catfish for sure. The soul food stuffed catfish, the red beans and rice stuffed catfish, the soul pan.
What's your biggest seller?
Gumbo.
Is it
Gumbo or the soul pan?
Okay.
Now, what do you feel like you personally can get better? You know, like work on. You know, like what dish do you feel like? Oh, it's great, but I feel like I can make it a little bit better.
You know, a little arrogant moment. I don't have a dish that I feel like that because every time I go into the kitchen, I go hard. So then I start over. People don't even know. Before I come up with a dish, I probably done did it 2-3 times and failed, and then came up with the final product. So.
I'm finna tell you what irritates me because you cooked salmon croquettes one time with some fried green tomatoes, and I love fried green tomatoes, but I realized salmon croquettes and Jack Michaels are two different things. And I wanted to taste yours, but I was like, I do not have Cash App. I'm not opening up Cash App. She needs to figure out a different way for me to pay her. And eventually she was like, I got PayPal, but that was way after she done cooked the dish, and I don't think she done cooked the dish since. So entrepreneurs, make sure that you have several payment options people can pay you, because I don't deal with Cash App. But I know I can PayPal her now.
I ain't doing Cash App. Uncle Sam getting some of everything.
And that's another thing. Cash App. While y'all sending them $20 for that $20 meal, I'm only getting probably $17.
Exactly.
You know what? That's why I try to send you more money.
Yeah, you do. I appreciate that too. I appreciate your business.
Yep, tell me.
She's a good customer.
Yeah.
And then one time I tipped her and somebody was like, what did she give you? She like, mind your business. Because I thought about it. I was like, dang, normally I don't never have any money. But I'd be like, dang, I don't never tip Shalonda. I tip other places. Why not tip her? So now I try to keep it in my conscience to have some dollars around when you're around and put some extra money in your PayPal account when I got it. And I'd be like, dang, I should call Shalonda to see if I can make a payment arrangement. She always want to sell something when I ain't got no money.
You can talk to me offline.
But yeah. You got something else?
That's all the questions that I could think of at the moment. But
You got something else?
I ain't got no questions at the moment.
You don't never have any.
I'll be in the moment, man.
So I know. So we always try to end with an encouragement word for our audience. So since you're the guest, we'll let you go first. Something encouraging. It don't have to be about the cook scene or anything. Just something that you feel like is uplifting for someone.
Even on your darkest days, stay focused and know that there's brighter ones coming.
I would say know your worth. You know what I mean? Know your worth, and off of what she said, stay focused, and stay prayed up, man, because, man.
It's a lot going on.
Yeah.
We've already said this, but I want to say it again, but don't withhold any type of information. Like, share the information that you have and be able to help another person grow,
I'm never last, so I'm going to say always be encouraged. Even when you feel like you can't do it, somewhere in there you can get it done. No one knows what you can do besides you, and keep going. Just keep going. You might fail, but you'll get it done eventually. So before we head out and leave out, tell them where they can find you at.
www.thegumboLadyLLC.com, Facebook, Shalonda Massey, Instagram, The Gumbo Lady LLC, and then Facebook again, The Gumbo Lady LLC.
Woo, stop playing with it, man. She everywhere.
And just like that.
And wait, I appreciate y'all for having me.
no problem.
Y'all tune in.
Sure.
This is just the beginning. Stay focused.
All right.
And I don't know what I said at the end, but we're out.
Yo, here's the flow. Tell me where your ass was many years ago.